Here's check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Check, check, check. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Pretty sure he is.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I was farther away. Here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
What's up? Damn.
Ty, what are some of the general points of emphasis for your team heading into Game 1?
I think defensively, getting back in transition. I think showing the crowd to Collison, Joseph, Oladipo. Just make sure we show a crowd. I think taking care of the basketball is going to be the most important. I think offensively, don't turn the basketball over because they thrive in transition. And then the other thing on the defensive end, just hitting bodies first because they do a great job of offensive rebounding. So we got to be really good at limiting their second shots.
Joe Varden, Cleveland.com. Give this a whirl. Who are you going to start at shooting guard today?
Rodney Hood.
Is that a health thing or matchups, or how'd you come to that call?
Kyle's been favoring his foot. It's going to be on a minute restriction, so it was just tough. And Rodney's been well in that starting role, so Rodney's starting tonight.
Thanks.
Ty, Ryan Jones from Slam. I'm wondering, some of the guys who really don't have playoff experience coming in for you guys like Larry, what can you sort of expect from guys their first time going through something like this?
Well, what I told those guys is just, your first playoff experience, just play hard and compete. And, lose balls, dive on the floor, taking charges, getting deflections, get out, get an early basket in transition. That kind of, opens up the rim for you and kind of let your hair down a little bit. So I think just playing hard, competing for 48 minutes and getting the fans and the crowd into it on your home floor will do wonders for those guys.
Dave McMenamin, ESPN. Ty, there's been all sorts of talk since 2014 when you got Kevin here about finding the best way to utilize him with this group. Do you feel like you've kind of unearthed that at this point because of the personnel you have now? And what's his role, or how do you view his role heading into the postseason?
I think along with LeBron, he has to set the tone early. I think for the new guys that's just now getting here, I think being effective on the low post, if they're trying to switch or whatever they're going to do. I think shooting the ball extremely well at the 5 position really causes problems for teams. So the biggest thing and the key for this series is him to rebound the ball really well, which we know he can do because they do a great job of crashing the glass. So just set the tone early. I think rebound the basketball on the post, on the block, being aggressive.
Tom with the Associated Press. Excuse me, Ty, what's it like to have, first of all, a fully healthy roster? And then are there any combinations that you haven't tried that you would consider now that you have everybody ready to go?
It's good to have everyone healthy. We talked about it all year, just going into the postseason, with all of our guys healthy. So nothing tricky or nothing new, but just getting our guys on the floor, let them play at 100% is the thing that we wanted to do this year. So everyone, with the exception of Kyle, who's feeling very well, I think is about 100%.
Rodney is aggressive. How much does that change you guys offensively?
Changed a lot. I think when he's aggressive, making shots, attacking the basket, takes a lot of pressure off LeBron and Kevin. I think, and he's capable of doing that. And we just got to stay on him about being aggressive, looking for a shot, looking to rebound the basketball and push it in transition. So we're going to stay on him about that, and it opens up the floor for a lot of other people also.
Thanks.
Jason Lloyd, The Athletic. You don't hear much about minutes restrictions usually in the playoffs. So with Kyle, are you surprised that this is lingering this long, and how much is a concern is it that this thing is going to affect him throughout this postseason?
Not a concern because today and Steve and Kyle spoke about how he feels really good. So, first you got to get on the court and go up and down and cut and move and see how you feel. But just to be cautious, he's on a minute restriction for tonight. And but he says he feels great. He's been moving great. So hopefully that continues.
And you would try that again. Would you expect by Game 2 no restrictions on him?
I'm not sure.
Chris Fedor, Cleveland.com. Ty, to follow up on that, you said the other day that you had an idea of what plan you wanted to go into this game with. With Kyle being on a minutes restriction, does it alter anything that you were thinking going into this one?
Not really. I think we'll be okay. I think, the most important thing is just getting Kyle 100%. I think that's the most important thing, and we don't want to overuse him in the first game. Whether he's feeling great or not, just want to be cautious, and he understands that. The staff understands that. So I don't think it changed anything we're going to do going forward.
Bill Livingston, Plain Dealer. What's the biggest thing you see that's let Oladipo become such a breakout season?
One, you got to say coaching. I know a lot of you guys think the players are just great on their own a lot of times, but I think Nate McMillan's done a great job of just featuring him, giving him the confidence to be the player that he is. And I think, going back to Indiana where he played college basketball, I think, with the fans and the support that he has there that he's already had was good for him. But I think Nate's put him in some great positions to be successful offensively, and also, preaching defense on the other end, because Nate's a tough guy, defensive-minded coach, and now you have Oladipo playing all-around basketball. So I would say a lot to do with coaching, but also with Oladipo being strong-minded, being a good player that he is, and finally find a home where he can be successful and be that number one guy, by himself. So I'm happy for him as a player.
Marla Ridenour, Akron Beacon Journal. Because this is the first time you've had everybody, are your plans, schemes, whatever, going to be more basic than they might have been in the past playoffs?
Pretty basic. I mean, stuff we've done, throughout the course of the season. So nothing too tricky.
But I mean, how does that compare with the past couple playoffs?
Well, it all depends on who we played. So, I mean, playing this team, we've seen them before. We know how they play, the style they want to play. So we just, doing the basic stuff that we've always done. So nothing too crazy as far as change-wise.
Who are your inactives today?
I don't know.
When do you make that decision?
When we get back and talk about hour before.